Welcome back. This video's topic is on digital decluttering. Digital decluttering is a way of managing all of the emails and photos and documents that build up on our devices, cause unwanted stress, anxiety, frustration, make it hard to find what you need. So today we're going to go over some straightforward and easy methods you can use to manage the digital clutter. So why do we engage in digital decluttering? Well, just like in our homes, if we let documents or laundry or garbage pile up, it creates an atmosphere that we don't really enjoy. We get stressed out, anxious, frustrated, upset. So we're going to spend a little bit of time managing those things in the digital space. We spend so much time now on our phones and in front of a computer that if there's a lot of stuff there, it can get to us. So the main reason we want to do this is to be productive, to reduce our stress, and manage those emotions. When we have a clean, organized digital space, we spend less time on our screens. And there are apps and things like notifications that suck our attention. They're designed to make us look at our phones more. And if we're trying to meet with friends or, be at work or do things around the home, and our phones are constantly drawing our attention, that's not a great thing. When we are on our devices, we want to be productive. We want the time spent on them to be good time, productive time. If we're shopping for something or on a Zoom call, we want that to be the focus and not all the notifications that are popping up. Or if we're trying to find something in our email, we don't want to have to go through hundreds of spam emails or advertisements trying to find what we want. What do we want to be decluttering? Well, any tech device that we use on a regular basis will need a little bit of cleaning from time to time. So we're going to focus on our cell phones. We're going to talk about some of the apps that maybe you've installed and you never use anymore. We're going to talk about things like notifications. And if you've heard me speak in the past, you know how strongly I feel against notifications. We'll talk about our email inboxes. This is a common area where folks express stress that their email gets out of control and they can't find what they want and they get way too many emails. So we'll talk about some straightforward ways you can manage that. Another source of concern or anxiety for people is their photos, that they're taking a lot of photos with their cell phones. They get backed up and your backup storage gets full. What can we do to manage that? And finally, we're going to talk about our online presence. That means all of our social media accounts or other websites we spend a lot of time on. This is something else we need to think about decluttering from time to time. If you're spending a lot of time on Facebook or Instagram and you're scrolling through ads and stories that really have no value to your life, these are again sucking your attention and keeping you from what you really want to do. And we're going to talk about how to manage that. So we're going to go over some specific strategies you can do right away to start this decluttering idea. When you undergo anything new for the first time, it's always best to start with one thing at a time. So give it some thought, and what is it about your devices, your technology that causes you the most stress? Is it all the pop-ups that show up on your phone every time you unlock it? Or the little ping noise that goes off every time you get an email? Is it all the junk mail that you get in your email box? Is it the amount of photos that have built up and you can't seem to save any or find what you're looking for? Give it a moment and think about the one thing that causes you the most concern, and we're going to start with that. When it comes to password management, Every website and program now seems to have guidelines for how they want you to make the password, whether they want a special symbol in it or so many letters and uppercase and numbers. And it can get very confusing very quickly. A password manager might be something worth looking into. For years, I've written down a list of all my passwords and kept them close to my computer, but perhaps a password manager might be of value to you. Unsubscribing from emails. We're going to go through that in this video. If you find that you get a lot of promotional emails or ongoing email from websites or software programs that you're not interested in, we're going to talk about how you can unsubscribe and stop getting these emails. If you have a full email inbox, and you don't want to get rid of some of these emails, we're going to talk about what archiving means and how you can move emails from your inbox to what's called the archive. The emails are saved, but they're not going to pop up on your screen all of the time. I have a separate video on email management where we talk about archiving, so check that one out if you want to learn more about that. If you have a lot of documents saved on your computer and they're just everywhere, spending some time to put them into folders and keep yourself organized is going to help as well. Just when it comes time to finding what you're actually looking for, utilizing folders to keep your documents in is going to be very helpful. I have a video on using your Google Drive, using the cloud, where we focus on how to create folders and how to organize your documents. So check that video out if that's of interest to you. If you're new to the cloud and you don't know what that is, Google Drive, your Apple has an equivalent, Microsoft has OneDrive, I think they call it. This is a way to back up your folders and your files in the cloud, in the internet cyberspace. The value of that is you can access your documents and your photos from various devices. It's not saved on a piece of hardware that can get lost or damaged. Managing the cloud is a topic onto its own. And like I mentioned previously, I do have a video talking about specifically the Google Drive, because here at MindForward, it's the cloud-based platform that I recommend because it gives you the most storage for free. And if you have one of our loaner computers, they're already set up to use the Google Cloud. So check out that video to learn more about cloud-based computing. When it comes to photo management, getting rid of duplicates, taking some time to go through your photos, get rid of the ones you don't want, backing them up, whether it's in the cloud or onto a USB drive or your hard drive, gets them off your device, and it's just less stuff that you're looking at. So taking some time to manage your photos, another useful way to spend some time. Again, I have a whole other video on using Google Photos. It's an app that you can use whether you're an iPhone user, an Android user, a Windows user. It's free to use, and it's an easy way to edit, manage, delete, etc. with all your photos. So check that video out for more on photo stuff. Finally, it may seem counterintuitive because these are technology videos you're watching, but taking breaks from our devices are very important to our mental health. I have a whole video called Managing Screen Time, and it talks about the value of taking a break from constantly scrolling, from spending a lot of time on our devices, and just for your own well-being, putting your phone down from time to time is a very important thing to be doing. So let's talk about some specific things you can do today to start dealing with this digital clutter. Push notifications are probably one of the worst things that have come out of technology. A push notification is the alert that shows up on your phone or on your computer when anything happens. If you have social media apps, you're going to get notifications when someone posts something online or when someone reacts to one of your postings. If you have games on your phone, the notifications are the things that pop up that say, hey, come and play your game a little bit more. Your digital squash is ready from your farm app. Notifications are designed to steal your attention. They want you to focus back on your phone. Notifications started with BlackBerry back in the day. And when the iPhone came out, the iPhone really embraced notifications as a way to have customers interact with their smartphone. And unfortunately, every single app, whether it's a paid app or a free one, is constantly bombarding you with notifications. They're not cell phone specific either. Your laptop, your computer at home, your iPad, your Chromebook, even your internet browser are now pushing notifications at you. It could be in the corner of your screen that a little pop-up comes up from time to time saying, there's a sale at this store. The reasons I don't like these are pretty straightforward, is that they are an invasion on your personal time. It's forced marketing. It's apps trying to get you to buy something or engage with their product, and they take your attention away from something else. If you ever took a psychology course, you may have learned about Pavlov and Pavlov's dogs, the dogs that drooled every time that a bell rang. Push notifications work the same way. Every time we hear that chirp or that ping noise coming from our phone saying something's going on, we feel that we might be missing out on something important and we're drawn to pick up our device and look at it. It's taking away time. We may be with our family, or we're at work or preparing our dinner, and our phones keep stealing our attention. I don't like that. We get addicted to hearing that noise go off and addressing it right away, and it's taking our time. Less important, notifications drain your battery quicker. So if you have a device and you find that the battery is dying constantly, notifications are one of the big reasons for that. So overall, I recommend to most people, we just disable notifications altogether. So how can we manage these horrible, horrible things? On all of our devices, we have the option to turn them off. Now, unfortunately, the default setting for all notifications is to have them all on. Every time you download an app, that app has notifications built into it. So every time we install something, we have to go and we have to turn notifications off for that thing. And on every single device, it's going to be just a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you very quickly on all of the popular devices how you can find notifications and turn them off. You only need to pay attention right now to the devices you actually own. So first up, I have how to do it on an iPhone. What you'll want to do is go into your settings menu and look for the notifications tab. When you select notifications, you're going to get the ability to turn off all the notifications on your phone, some of the notifications, depending what you want. My suggestion is that if you're finding these to be very annoying, that you just turn everything off. I acknowledge that there are some notifications that are useful. If you've had a text message or a phone call that you've missed, or you have a voicemail waiting, an email, maybe you use a ride sharing app and you want notifications when your ride is here, we can turn on notifications for specific apps. But as just a general rule, turning them all off is going to save you a lot of headaches on your phone. So here's how you find it. You can scroll through the menus and figure out the settings which are important to you, but start with everything off and then go back and turn on what you think might be useful. On an Android phone, you're going to go into settings, which is the icon that looks like the little gray and black wheel, and you're going to look for the notifications tab. You're going to select that one. And then what you're going to do, what you're going to get is a list of all of the apps you have on your phone with little on-off switches beside them. And you can go through your list of apps and turn on and off notifications for any of the apps you currently have installed. Like I said earlier, there may be some apps you want to leave notifications on for, but if you're finding, let's say, you're having issues with your battery, the game notifications are the ones that suck the battery the most. So at the very least, go through and turn off notifications for your games. They do drain your battery, and they also are probably the most frequent. Social media and game notifications are by far the most common. So, as I mentioned earlier, notifications may have started with our cell phones, but now every device that's hooked up to the internet is exposed to notifications. So our computers, they get notifications as well. We want to turn them off on our computers. If you have an Apple computer, launch the Apple menu. You want to select System Preferences, go to your notifications, and you'll have a list of all the different apps on your computer. You can go through. You can see underneath, it'll tell you which notifications are currently active for each app. So on the Apple operating system, they call their notifications badges, banners, sounds. They're all just notifications. They're trying to repackage something that is considered annoying by most people. So I like the option of selecting none and not having these things interrupt my attention, but you can go through them and turn on and off what fits your life. Windows computers, same thing. You have notifications on as well. What I like about Windows is it's rather easy to turn them all off. It's an on-off for notifications. Go into all settings, find the system icon and click on that. There will be one called notifications and actions, and you can turn them all off at once. Nice and easy. Finally, if you have a Chromebook, I feel Chromebooks get the most notifications out of all the computer systems. The reason being is that a Chromebook is actually running the Android system. So if you have an Android phone, the operating system on a Chromebook is the same as the operating system on an Android phone. So you'll look for the settings app, you'll go to notifications, and you can turn them on and off for your computer as well. Another thing that a Chromebook has and some phones have is the Do Not Disturb setting. I like it on a Chromebook. I don't really like it on the phone. And the reason being is if you turn Do Not Disturb on your phone, it turns everything off, which includes your text messages, your cell phone ringer, stuff like that. So on your phone, I still recommend turn off the notifications the proper way. On a Chromebook, you can use that Do Not Disturb setting and it'll turn off all notifications on your Chromebook. You don't get phone calls through your Chromebook, so it's better to do with a Chromebook. Now, I realize I went through that rather quickly. If you do find that you're having trouble figuring out how to turn these things on or off, go to YouTube, type in the model of the device that you own, and it will show you videos on how to do it. Different operating systems, different versions of the operating system, they may have slight little differences that make you frustrated. So it's always a great idea to double check on a platform like YouTube and watch a video on how to do it. Outside of our actual devices, you may have noticed recently when you're on the internet looking at websites, websites will ask if they can send you notifications. And this is almost worse than having notifications sent to you on your phone. And the reason being is that the notifications from the website are pure marketing. When you agree to accept a notification from a website, what that means is it's telling your computer or your cell phone it's okay for them to flash up random ads about whatever it is you're looking for. So maybe you're shopping for a new vehicle and you're on the Ford website and Ford asks you to, is it okay if we send you notifications? And you say okay. What you've told your phone is that it's okay for Ford ads to pop up on your phone whenever Ford feels like sending it to you. So I would highly recommend never selecting or never accepting notifications from a website. If you have done this and you're noticing that you get these ads and you don't want them anymore, there is an easy way to fix this. We clear our cache file. And I do have a video specifically on how to manage your cache file. So watch that video if you want to learn how to do it. Your cache file is related to your internet, and it's kind of like going in and deleting your browser history. You also want to delete your cache file. That's where the little bit of code that sends these pop-ups for these ads from notifications is kept. We delete it, it goes away. The next time you go to the Ford website, it's not going to know how you feel about notifications and it'll ask you again, do you want to get notifications from us? And the next time you go, hit no. And from here on in, always hit no when a website asks to send you notifications. Someone asked me recently about the alarm clock. They use the alarm clock to wake up in the morning, to remember to take medications or other things. Turning off and on notifications does not affect your alarm clock. Your alarm clock works separately from notifications. So turning off notifications will not affect alarms going off. So now that we've managed the horrible world that is notifications, another common issue that people bring to me is they're just overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that they get emailed to them. If you've purchased something online ever, odds are somewhere in that transaction they asked if they could send you emails. If you've been involved with various websites or social media apps, often there's going to be a we'll email you information tied into that. And if you don't check your email for a few days, when you log in, you're just bombarded with all of these businesses and companies and social media platforms that have sent you a bunch of stuff, and the emails of actual interest or value to you are lost in the mess. And this can certainly become stressful and annoying. So one of the ways that you can manage this is to unsubscribe from things. There's two pretty straightforward ways that you can do this that we're going to talk about, and that's to find the unsubscribe button or to block these senders. So let's talk about those. If you're getting promotional or chain emails or emails from social media, somewhere in that email is going to be a button that says click here to unsubscribe. Now, these are going to be very small and they're going to be hidden down in the fine print somewhere, and it can be a bit of a challenge to find them. But it's typically at the bottom of the email. And what you want to do is when those businesses are sending you ongoing things, go to the most recent one, scroll down, find that unsubscribe button, and go through the habit of clicking unsubscribe to things you don't want. Over time, you will notice the amount of emails you are getting are fewer and fewer. Now you can use one of the features built into your email software, whether you use Gmail or Outlook, Yahoo Mail, whatever, is a search engine, and you can search through your emails. If you're having a difficult time figuring out which emails you can unsubscribe from, find that little search bar and type in the word unsubscribe. It's going to give you all the emails that have the word unsubscribe in them. So in the example here on the screen, the taco email, Pinterest, whatever that last one is there, if you open those emails and go through them, you will find an unsubscribe button in them. When you type in a search word, the other neat thing that this does, and it's not shown here in the graphics, but it will highlight, usually in yellow, the word that you've searched for. So if you're having a hard time finding that unsubscribe button, when you search for the word and you open an email that it found in the search, it's going to highlight unsubscribe for you to make it much easier for you to find and unsubscribe from. If unsubscribing is proving to be tedious or complicated or frustrating for you, another option you can do is you can block email senders. And again, depending on which piece of software you use for your emails, if it's Gmail, Outlook, Apple's email, everything's going to be just a little bit different. But what I've done here is I'm going to show you two of the more common email platforms, Outlook and Gmail, and show you how to block senders on those platforms. In Outlook, it's very easy. There's going to be a button that says, when you open an email, that says junk. Is this email junk? And when you click on it, there's going to be the option to block the sender. Blocking the sender means whatever email account that's been sent from, those emails will no longer come to your email account. So if it's promotions at Ford.com that sends you emails from that account are no longer going to come to you. When you tell Outlook or Gmail or any of the other platforms that you want to block a sender, the emails will still come, but they're going to go into a junk folder or a spam folder. They're not going to go into your inbox, which is what we're after. If you use Gmail for your emails and you want to block a sender, open up the email that you want to block, and in the upper right-hand corner are going to be three little dots. They're circled above my head there. When you click on those three dots, you're going to get a menu that pops up, and you're going to see the option of blocking that sender. So this is going to move any emails I get from this company directly to my junk folder, and they're not going to come into my inbox. So while the idea of digital cluttering seems overwhelming, there's a lot of things on our devices and online that we do that need to be managed. By doing these two things, managing notifications and unsubscribing and blocking things in our email, these two things will have a big impact on your digital clutter and should hopefully help with your mental health and stress levels when it comes to dealing with digital stuff. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you found it interesting, and we'll see you on the next one.